stopping, homie, regardless. And I ain't stopping, no, I ain't stopping. I'm just getting started. Let's go. My skin is pale, but I'm a black sheep. Riding through the city, Satan in the backseat. Hey yo, that's me, I run it like a track meet. A rap fiend, I set the bar high like an athlete. Step in the booth and Zach gon' drop that 808. Cause the vibe is dope and the beat is cracking, now it's getting laced. I'm sharp as a razor blade, I can blow your mind like JFK. I do what I want, you ain't gonna box me in like David Blaine.
Well, it's another rainy day here, so you know the drill. Let's take a walk out into the shop. Here's my 2005 Electric Glide, and as you can see, I have a 18-inch rear rim, and I do also run an oversized tire, and I have my bike lowered. So what I've been having a problem with is keeping a tail light. As we all know, in Chicago and in Milwaukee and any inner city really, the roads are horrible. The potholes will damn near kill you. And I've noticed that from riding throughout the years, because my bike is lowered, I run an oversized tire, I got the bigger rim. Well, here's what I end up with. I lost my tail light yet again this year. This is the third time this year, by the way, guys, that I've lost my tail light. And this wiring is just, it's done. That's the ground wire hanging off of it that completely broke out. I completely rubbed through the rear tail light plug. So I just started looking at it and I said, you know what, this plug is done. That's over with. It's seen its better days. It's time to retire it. But I'm tired of having this problem. I'm tired of going through wiring issues. I'm tired of looking at this kind of a plug. Every year I have this kind of problem. So I said, you know what, it's time to be smart and do things the right way. I decided to relocate my rear tail light wiring from inside the fender to the outside of the fender. And that's what I decided to do here. I just said, you know what, I'm just going to make my own wiring harness, my own wiring, hardwire it straight through completely all the way to the back and be done with it. I got tired of messing around. And just like a typical Harley, you start fixing something and you notice another problem. That's my saddlebag bracket that completely broke off of the tab on the frame. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and go in and weld that later, but as of right now, let's stay on task and do the job that I came here to do. What I ended up doing is I had some trailer wire, and it was brand new trailer wire, and it's 15 amp. I had that laying in my garage, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna use that wiring for this job. Yes, I could have went to Harley. Yes, I could have went and ordered the harness, and it would take 2 or 3 weeks to get the harness. It would have only been 50 bucks. Or I can be a real true biker that I am and do this whole job myself, because after all, I could get the same harness that was already on the bike, but it wouldn't be long enough to do what I needed it to do to go on the outside of the frame. So this is me here making my own wiring harness. What I do is I take, they're about 3 inches long, the heat shrink wraps. I take them and I put one by one, I run the wiring through one by one, and then I heat shrink it all together. I overlap them about 1/4 inch. That way there it keeps it airtight, watertight, and you don't have to worry about any problems. It's a way stronger and durable wiring loom than what Harley gives you, in my opinion. So this is me running the wires through and all of that. Like I tell you guys all the time, you know, when you're doing wiring, patience is a big issue. But the other thing is do it correctly. Solder all your wires. It's a better connection. It's just the proper way of doing it. Solder it, heat shrink each wire, and then you run the heat shrink over the top of all the wires like I'm doing here. And now you're making your own wire loom, your own wiring harness. And what I did was I hardwired it straight from the plug that goes underneath your seat, and it's going to go straight back to my tail light, no plugs involved at all. And I'm running it outside of the fender instead of inside the fender. By running it outside of the fender, you just take away the risk of you bottoming out and taking out your wiring. Those of you that are in Chicago and Milwaukee, you already know what I'm talking about. The potholes, man, the potholes will kill you, bro. So you end up rubbing through your wires, especially if you have a lowered bike, if you're running an oversized tire like I do. You're gonna end up rubbing through your plug. You're gonna burn out your wires. You're gonna basically burn right through them. So the best bet is to run it outside of your fender, so you don't have to worry about it no longer. You know what I'm saying? So here's my wiring harness. It is all finished and complete, ready to be ran. As you can see, it's nice and strong, very durable. Don't have to worry about nothing with it really. So now I'm just calculating kind of where I'm gonna run my wiring. I had played with the idea of running it on the outside of the side rail, like basically going through your fender mount, your fender mounts, or struts actually. I was gonna plan on going through there, but I said no, I'm just gonna run it alongside of it and zip tie the wires inside of them. That way there it's all nice and low key. It's, you know, it's not visible, and it's all tucked in nice and tight and looks right. And I was thinking about drilling a hole through the fender and running the wire through the hole with a rubber grommet. But I was like, you know what, man, I don't want to drill through my paint job. I don't want to drill through my fender. So I decided to do the same thing I was going to do, but I just actually run alongside of it, and then I come in from the back. You still don't see it. It's behind the fender strut, and it's a nice clean look, and hopefully this one lasts. If I end up rubbing through that one, then I may have to drill through the fender. But right now, here I am running the wires, kind of calculating where I want them to go and figuring out where I'm going to tuck them in at and stuff like that. One thing I'm going to tell you guys, man, when you're doing wiring, you have to have patience, man. All right, you got to be patient, and you got to figure out where can you run your wires, and not just make them invisible to be able to tuck them in, but you also want to be concerned with, are they going to rub against any metal? Are they going to vibrate in time and end up rubbing through the wiring harness and then giving you a short again? So you always want to just be patient and kind of figure out where you want to run them, the safest place to run them, and still be able to tuck it in nice and tight and nice and clean and not have to worry about seeing it. So that's why I'm taking my LED flashlight and I'm kind of just going over where I'm going to run the wires and where am I going to put them at that are going to be safely tucked in, so I don't have to worry about this problem ever occurring again. So I took the light and just wanted to, you know, like I said, I just want a clean look, but I really want it to be safe too, because I don't want to go through this issue no more. I've had this issue 3 times this year, y'all, 3 times, and we just got into summer. So I said, man, I'm done doing that stuff, man. So here I am in the rear. This is me, basically. I already ran the wires, by the way. So this is me running wire by wire, heat shrinking, of course, soldering it first and heat shrinking it all, and all that good stuff. What I did was, by the way, and one thing you definitely want to do if you're doing something like this, again, I was using trailer wire. So it's a whole different color. I believe 2 of them were green and brown, and then the other 2 were yellow and brown and yellow. Your tail light uses 6 wires. So what I did was I reused 2 different colors, but I wrote my own wiring diagram down, and I put 2 pieces of tape, different color tape, on each end of the last 2 wires, so that way there I knew those were the wires. You want to write your own diagram. So I believe the colors on your rear tail light are purple. They're purple, brown, green, yellow, red and yellow, orange and white, and then your black is your ground. So I wrote my own wiring diagram, so I knew which color went to which color. That way there when I got in the back of the tail light here, I knew what I was doing. So Finally got it all soldered in. Moment of truth. Let's make sure it works. And yes, sir, it does. Everything's all good. Everything's tucked in, ready to go. Now all I gotta do is make sure that the brake light works, the turn signals work. Once I figured this out and everything was good on that, now all I gotta do is run the wires inside the fender on the back end of it towards the bottom, so I don't have to worry about the tire touching. And put my license plate back in and button it all up, and then I'm ready to go on the road. Oh yeah, I gotta weld my bracket first, but after that we're good to go, baby. What's good, everybody? You already know I'm Danny D'Lo. This is Danny D'Lo Biker TV. I'm sitting in my garage where I started all of this at, with my background and my bar, my garage, and all that good stuff. I figured I'd come up on here and say thanks for watching. Much love and respect to all my new subscribers, to all my day ones. You already know the drill. We keeping it 100 around here. So this video was about doing my tail light. I've been fighting this issue for a minute, alright? And like I've said in my video, those of you that know in the city, any city, it don't matter if it's New York, Florida, Cali, Chicago, Milwaukee, it doesn't matter, bro. When you're in the inner city, you're dealing with some major speed bumps. They're from hell. The roads are never kept because of all the traffic and all the people. And that's what I ended up dealing with. So hopefully now I won't deal with that no more. Hopefully we're done with this wiring issue and we don't have to worry about it no more. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Much love and respect. And I'll see y'all at the next episode. Peace.